Hi guys, welcome to a.i.m. and today we'll be learning the coding of Matplotlib and Seaborn libraries. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. As we have learned the theory part for the Matplotlib and Seaborn, we'll be seeing its coding part. First, we'll be importing the libraries Matplotlib and NumPy as PLT and NP. And now we run its kernel, so it's now on our Python. Now next will be the figure and axis that will be assigning, having the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the x, and y has the points 1, 5, 2, 3, 4. And now as you see in the figure, the first point is 1, 1, the second point is 2, 5, the third point is 3, 2, and so on. The next that we plot is using numpy.lspace, having the linear, quadratic and cubic graphs in the one graph, starting as 0 till 4. And when we run the kernel, we see that the linear graph is denoted by red, the blue one denotes the quadratic, and the purple one denotes the cubic. For the same values of x square, x cube, we get this graph over here. So we have used the same parameters for x square and x cube. Next we define a function f of t and have exponential graph for t and a cos graph for t, and we define two values t1 and t2. And now you can see we get a graph of cos having the values between -1 to 1, and the exponential graph, as you can see, gets plotted. The next is we import a style from the Matplotlib library and use the ggplot style, having x, y, x2 and y2 values for the same in the same graph. And when we run the kernel, we see that we get two graphs. Red denotes the line 2 and blue denotes the line 1. As you can see, they get overlapped due to the values present in our data. The G denotes the color of the grid. As you can see, it is green in color. Y label denotes your y-axis, X label denotes your x-axis. Next we plot a bar graph for MACD, it's per day sales, and for the given data you'll see that MACD and burger, we get this type of data. In the middle you can see that both have equal. PLT.title denotes your title of the graph, X label denotes your days, and Y label gives your label to your y-axis. And the blue color we defined it for MACD, and the red color is defined for your Burger King. The next is you have an array of students of different age and the number of people in a particular age, and you plot the histogram type graph, which is of bar type with width upon 0.8. and when you plot this graph, you see that this type of graph you get when you plot with the above data and the contents. Next type of example we take is we have two coordinates x, y, x1 and y1 having different data, and when we plot this graph as a scattered plot, you can see we get for the plot 1 as this and plot 2 as this. So we can visualize different things or different data using this type of plot or techniques. Next we take weeks, 7 weeks, and the data of people who like to sleep or play PUBG or eat or work out during this quarantine, and give them each a different color. And when we run this, we get a stack plot. As you can see, purple denoting sleeping and different colors denoting different things. Similarly, taking the above data, we plot a pie chart having the same data, but the starting angle is as 90. and we get this type of data giving us different percentage of people in different plots or different pies. And this is the different type of visualizations that we can use using Matplotlib. Now moving on to our next visualization technique called the Seaborn. We import it as SNS. Seaborn has some inbuilt datasets with it. When we run the kernel, we see that it has different datasets like fry, car crashes, brain networks, Titanic, tips, planets, geyser, etc. Yet again importing different libraries, NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib. As Seaborn is a visualization technique built upon Matplotlib, so Matplotlib is imported here, and different styles can be used like white grid, dark grid or anything. Here we are reading the car crash data frame and we are applying the SNS replot technique over here. As you can see that we get a scatter plot here, and we have not defined the type of graph we want. When we define the kind of graph we want, such as line, we get a line graph over here. So by default you can say that SNS plots scatter plot for every graph until we define the kind we want. Moving on to the next example, we have the flights dataset and we plot the x versus y graph where hue is taken as the years. So we have different years in our data sets and it gives us different colors according to the different years, as you can see in the graph. So different colors represent different colors. Now the next is the sales of some eateries out there, and we plot a graph of sales of Domino's, and the kind we denoted here is as line. Now we change the y-axis to suppose MACD and the kind to be the scatter plot yet again, and run. So we get this type of graph over here, and if we change it yet again to line, we get a different type of graph over here. So in this way you can use different techniques. Now the next is we are using the geyser dataset and applying the style of ticks and implementing it. The kind has two categories, long and short. So here we get just two categories data, long and short, for the duration. Yet again using the style ticks, but the kind we are using here is violin for our data set, tips, and we get this type of graph. Isn't it interesting? The next graph that we plot is a multivariate graph for data set x and y respectively, and we calculate the mean over here. The kind here we use is as KDE, color we use as blue. Last but not the least, we plot a pair grid graph of passengers versus year, year versus year, year versus passenger, and passenger versus year. So this is like a pair grid graph we are plotting for the flight data sets. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you like it and have learned something good from it. Now, until we meet next time, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.